Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Paper Crafts here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in central Scotland. This is hopefully the relaunch of my Simple Sundays series, but the difference being now that as well as a blog post, there will also be a video tutorial to go with it too. So today's Simple Sundays is this little pizza style box to hold some 3x3 note cards and envelopes. I've made a couple using the new in colours, which are these here. You have Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray and Purple Posy. And these boxes are made in Seaside Spray, which I absolutely love, and Purple Posy, which I also love. So I'm going to pop these to the side just now, and I'm not sure which belly band I prefer. I think I prefer the wider one. This one here is 1 inch wide, this one is 1 1/4 inch, I think. Yeah, and I think it just looks a little bit better with the wider belly band. So inside here, if I just slide this belly band off carefully, there are some little note cards, and I've made one in each of the in colours, and I've just tied them together with one of the in colour linen ribbons, and this one just happens to be Purple Posy to match the Purple Posy box. So if I slip this off, the box will hold lots of little note cards. This is 5 in this pile plus 5 3x3 envelopes, and I've stamped a bit of a daisy on the corner of this envelope as well. So again, we've got the 5 colours, which are Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, which I think is going to be my favourite, and Purple Posy, which is probably a close second. So I'm going to show you how I made the note cards and the pizza box, and the reason that I popped a ribbon round it is just because the cards pop open. I've made them as little tent fold cards just so that they sit nicer and they're much easier to photograph. So if I can just pop this ribbon back on. The good thing is that the envelopes, although they're slightly bigger than the cards, they're a bit more flexible. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that on or not. Yeah, there we are. So I'm just going to pop these back in their box just now, and I'm going to first of all show you how I made the little card, and then I'm going to show you how I made the box. So for the card, you'll need a piece of cardstock which measures 6 inches by 3 inches, scored at 3 inches, and I've already done the scoring. So before I fold and burnish it, I'm going to do my stamping. So I'm going to bring in my Rococo Rose ink. Sorry about the lighting, I'm actually filming this at night, so hopefully there aren't too many shadows. Just ink up my stamp and pop it in the middle of my card. There we are. Give my stamp a bit of a clean. And then the smile I'm going to pop in the bottom corner, hopefully straight. That's alright. Although I've picked up a little hair from my Stampin' scrub, but that's okay, it's not really that noticeable. And I'm going to close this for now until I show you the stamp set, which I didn't do. So this is the new Daisy Lane stamp set, and it matches the medium Daisy Punch, which are in the new catalogue. So they're both new products. If you're familiar with our previous Daisy stamp set and punch, we have the Daisy Delight and the large Daisy Punch to match. So they've been around for, is this the 2nd or 3rd year they've been in the catalogue? I can't remember. but very popular and amongst my favourites certainly. So that's what I'm using to make these cards tonight. So now that that ink's had a chance to dry, I'm just going to fold and burnish my card. Just give it a good burnish on each side and it'll just sit like that. So I'll pop that over beside Corey just now. And for the box you're going to need a piece of card which measures 8 3/4 inches by 4 3/4, and for the belly band you're going to need a piece of cardstock which measures, that measures 8 3/4, but it should measure 8 1/2. So I'm just going to quickly bring in my trimmer, and I know Stampin' Up! Have discontinued this, but I do still use mine now and again, so I'm just going to use this quickly to trim this down to 8 1/2. That's it. And this measures 8 1/2 by 1 1/4, which is the same width as this one here. So I'm going to put the belly band to the side just now, and then I'm going to bring in my scoreboard and do the scoring for my box. So you want to score at 3/4 inch and at 4 inches on both sides, and that just makes sure that it's even on both sides. You could score it at 3/4, 4, 4 3/4 and 8 if you want to, and in the same fashion score on the short side on both sides at 3/4 inch. And that's all the scoring that you need to do for your box. So I'm just going to fold and burnish on all these score lines. Really quick and easy, and it's quite a symmetrical project, so you've not got any funny angles or triangular score lines or anything like that to put in. Just turn it round and do the last one there. So this is what you'll end up with. So with the long side along the way, you'll see that you've got your 2 large panels here, and you've got the 3/4 inch panels here, here and here, and you've got 6 little squares on the edges, and these are the parts that you're going to cut because these are the tabs that are going to hold your box closed. So you're going to cut up all of these and notch into these little squares, and you're just going to do that on all the squares on both sides. So cut up to that first horizontal score line and then notch in. Now I'm never very good at notching to the left on these end squares. I don't know why, maybe it's because I'm right-handed, so I always have to turn it round. So just finish these ones off. Might just redo that one. There we are. So that's our box all notched as well, and then now what we need to do is turn it over and add some tearing tape to all 6 tabs, because that's what's going to join the box together. So I'll just quickly do that. with my ruler, as always. So I'm just adding tearing tape near the fold on all of these little tabs. You can add extra bits if you want, just at the very ends, but you don't have to. Last one. And then what I want to do now is I just want to double check which way fits best in terms of closing the box. So I'm just trying to decide which will be the bottom and which will be the top. I think this will be the top of my box, so I want to add a little finger notch here. Now this measures 3 1/4 inches from here to here, so if you want to be absolutely sure that you've got your finger notch in the middle, you can measure it. So half of 3 1/4 is 1 5/8, so you just want to make a little mark there and grab your 1/2 inch circle punch. Oops. And then that makes sure that it's right in the middle, or you can just do it by eye. So you want to put it about halfway into your punch, oops, and just punch out that little finger notch there. So now we know which is the lid and which is going to be the base. So I'm just going to take all the backing off my tape. There we are. And remembering that this is the lid, I'm going to ignore these little panels for now, but I'm going to join the box at the bottom together using these little tabs here and just popping in any stray bits of tape as I go so that they don't overlap at the edges. And I want to put the straight cut edge of this part to the folded edge of the tab and pop it together like so. And last one, just had to make sure there that I was putting the right part of the box together. And if you want, you can just give it an extra press with your paper folder to make sure that it's well stuck. And then I'm just going to put the last pieces together to form the lid of my box, and oops, that's my box put together. And it will close together easily like that. And part of the reason for the belly band is with any pizza box you're going to get these little bits sticking out at the side, and the belly band just helps to hold them closed. So since I've got my box open, I'll pop my extra card in there and pop my ribbon bound ones just on top. This box actually will hold probably 10 cards and envelopes, so you could probably do 2 of each. Pop it closed, and then all I'm going to do with my belly band is, starting at roughly the halfway point on my box, I'm going to just gently wrap it round and just pinch the card as I go and keep it as straight as I can, coming round this side but just making sure that I've tucked the side in before I do. And the last fold is here, and then just give it a little bit of a pinch, but what I'm going to do is line it up properly and give it a burnish with my folder, paper folder, and again just line this up and give it a burnish. Same with these bends here, and that one doesn't look like I've cut it hugely straight, but so I think, was it that side? No, it was that side that I started with at the halfway point. So just making sure that it fits round and lining it up together. Actually, that's more central. It is a little bit squint, but that's okay because I'm going to hide it with my daisy. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape on the end of here and make sure it's right to the edges so that the belly band sticks together. Give it a little burnish. I'll take the backing off and bring my box back in, make sure I've got it the right way round, and just gently wrap it round again and pop the edges together. So in order to hide that seam, I'm going to punch 2 more little daisies and put them together. So I'm going to stamp, it's a bit tatty, this card. Stamp 1 and stamp 2. Close the ink up again before I make a mess, and bring in my medium daisy punch and cut those out, or punch those out rather. So I'm just wanting to line it up before I actually punch it out. It's easier than I'm making it look actually. That's one. And jings, you can hear the concentration. That looks straight enough. So that's 2. And I'm going to pop a mini glue dot on the back of one. Just like that. And then I'm going to lay it over the top of the other one. Oops. Just to offset those petals a bit. There we go, and make it a fuller flower. And I'm going to bring in my in colour faceted dots, and oh, didn't look very sticky, or it came off awful easily. There we are. Pop a faceted dot in the middle, and then because it's going to be staying on the belly band, I'm going to actually put this on with some liquid glue. Get rid of the gungy bit on the end, so just pop some in the middle of there. I can afford to put quite a bit on, and that'll make sure it doesn't move. So placing this strategically to hide the join and the bit that doesn't quite fit, so that I'm hiding the overlapping bit. And because it's liquid glue, I just want to hold it for a few seconds until it sticks. And that's my box and my little card made. Now I know it's Simple Sundays, but you can actually step this up a little bit as well with the card and the box, but I'm actually going to do a separate video and a separate tutorial to show you how to do those. So that's it for now for the cards and the box as they are at the minute, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for dropping in, take care, bye bye.